Hello everyone, this is Deepak. Today we are going to dive into the world of artificial intelligence and break it down into simple terms that everyone can understand. You have probably heard a lot of buzzword lately. AI, machine learning, deep learning, and tools like ChatGPT. For many, AI just means ChatGPT, but it's actually much bigger than that. So I'm going to show you how AI truly works, and I'll explain machine learning and deep learning in the simplest way possible. So let's start. Let's begin with AI. Imagine you have a puppy and you want to teach it a new trick like fetch. You don't give it a bunch of rules. You show it what to do over and over again and it's learn from the example. So that's basically what artificial intelligence is. And also the machine learning, where we are teaching the machine to learn from the data we've provided. AI is the big dream of making computers smart, and machine learning is the way we teach them. Instead of giving the computer every single instruction, we feed it tons of data. Instead of instruction, the data. Like thousands of pictures of cats and dogs, and the computer learns to spot the pattern and tell them apart. So more data we will give, the more it will learn, and more easily it can recognize the pattern and it can differentiate between those data or the pictures if you take an example. So so we, after that feeding those data, computers follow some instruction, or we say goes through some algorithm, and it trains the model to make it better. It's like super smart detective that learns by seeing, hearing, and reading. Let me make it more clear with a simple graphic. If I show you another graphic, this is how a machine learning process can be defined in the simplest way you can say. So you can see on the one side, we are giving input of some images, the fruit images, and then behind the scene, some process happens. So as I explained earlier, that in order to make computer smart, you need to feed data. That's what we are doing here. So here you can see we are giving images of different fruits. For simplicity, only few images are displayed as input. But you need to remember that the more data you will feed, the better AI will understand. So I'm repeating this again and again because this is a very important part, because data is everything in case of AI. So what's going on here? We are feeding data and there are a bunch of processes happening in order to train the model. And finally, our model gets trained and now it can differentiate between apple, banana, and mango. Let me show you this practically so that you can understand more better. So I'll take you to one platform called Teachable Machine by Google. So what I'll do here, I'll simply go to the website teachablemachine.withgoogle.com. I share the link in the description, you can check it out. And I'll simply click on the option get started. So you will land up on the screen. As you can see, there's a bunch of options are there. I'll see I'll to just to keep this video small and simple, I'll simply go ahead with the example which I provided. I'll simply select the image project and I'll select the standard image model. And here what I'm going to do, as I explained you earlier, that when we give the data, it can, the more data you'll give and the data, whatever data you'll give, it will understand it, right? So I'll simply turn on my webcam and I'll hold this marker and I'll click on this option called hold and record just to record this images from my webcam. So if you can see, I'm recording the images. The more images I'll record, the more it will understand. So these are the images. It has already taken 189 images sample. And now I'll call it Deepak with marker. And now the second class. I'll hold a diary and again record it like this. So I think we have 200 images samples here, which is enough. And I'll call it Deepak with diary. So for example, instead of showing I don't have apple, mango, and banana right now with me, so I'm just holding a marker in my hand, and in the second case, I'm holding a diary with in my hand, and I'll simply start training the model. So you need to understand that when you are training, this training process is happening on your computer. So you must leave this tab open to train your model. You can see this message also here. So the training process is happening. The model is being trained, and now our model is trained. And now you can see we have here the result. Uh, but since this is very, if you see in this case also the data was not much enough, and I think I made some mistake, so that's why it's giving 100% mark here. But as soon as I'll bring my diary here, you can see it has recognized that this is the class I'm representing right now. I'm with my diary. So you can see Deepak with diary is 100% now. If I'll remove it and I'll simply bring it a marker, it will say Deepak with marker. So now you can see how simply this process happens here. And you might have understood the crux of this explanation. I'm just trying to explain you that this is how model training happens. You give the data, train the model, and you have the model now with you. And you can use this model. Actually, this is very powerful to for simple use cases. So you can train it. And for right now, I'm just showing you for the example. So I didn't do it very perfectly. So that's why it's giving me right now with the marker option as 100%. It shouldn't. I might have missed something here. I might have missed some, or it might not be recognizing my images. Okay, in some of the images, if you can see, I'm not holding the marker also. I'll try to delete those things so that it can not give, so it should not give me wrong answer. So if you can see, the better the data, the better the result. In some of the images, as you can see, I move the marker out of the screen. That's why it's showing 100% even if I'm not holding anything, and it is capturing me in the first class. So I'll train again. You can see the process again start. Let's see. I've deleted some of the images and it should work better than before now. Let's see. Okay. Look like some of these, but so you can try it yourself. I have so many images. I've deleted a few of them. Still I can see some of the images, unused images are there. Oh, yeah. Like not useful images are there. That's why it's giving 100%. But you can understand. Now I can bring my diary. It's giving 100%. I'm with the diary. Without diary, I'm with the marker, which is like this. But some of the images, if you can see, I captured my image even without marker. So it's showing 100% in case if I'm not holding anything also. So yeah, this is how we keep the data and model gets trained and it gives output according to the training data. So let's go back again to our presentation screen. So this is actually what we did. What we are seeing here is actually we did practically. So this is how machine learning process works. Now there are various types of processes are there. So this is just a beginner guide. So I'll not go deep into that. So you can understand how machine learning works now. Now let's go to the our another topic, uh, which is machine learning, deep learning, right? So I have already explained about AI. Now let's discuss what is ML. That is ML stands for machine learning. So the in the conventional way of making computer smart was to give instruction and the set of rules to the computer for everything, which we still do by writing logic for everything. But in AI, we just give them data and computer learns from those data. And this techniques of making computer learn from the data is called machine learning, which we actually did just now. So now what's a deep learning? This is a special type of techniques in machine learning itself. So if you can see, machine learning is a larger part and under the umbrella of artificial intelligence, this machine learning comes and also the deep learning. So machine learning and the deep learning are quite similar, but the major difference is that it is a special type of technique. It is a more advanced version of machine learning that uses large, complex, brain-like structure called neural network to solve very hard problems, like recognizing faces and understanding complex language. So in short, if you hear the term all the time, like machine learning, deep learning, artificial intelligence. So those are all part of a single thing, which is artificial intelligence. And in artificial intelligence, when we train the model or teach the computer, that process itself is called machine learning because machine is learning in those process. So simply it's machine learning. And there are many different process happens. One of them is the deep learning process, which is where we try to mimic human brain in the form of computer so that it can solve complex problems. So today you learn what is artificial intelligence, machine learning, deep learning. I hope you understood everything. If you feel anything is missing, you can please comment and let me know. I'll try to explain those in the coming videos as well. And thank you very much for watching all this video. And yeah, so thank you. Goodbye.